I am Laurens Silmuna, and this is the story of my family and the House of Wesdam, the last remaining branch of a family whose branches spread out through all of Anbennar once. The Lilac Wars were a series of civil wars fought for the control of the Dove Throne and the future of the Empire. My family, the Silmunas, have had many emperors in our line, and during the Lilac Wars, we had and lost it several times. Our family is that of silver, meaning we have married with the elves after they landed in Canor hundreds of years ago. Magic runs through our veins, and it is common for one of our name to have unthinkable magical abilities. My own line played a small part in this, distant nobles with little more than our name to give us prominence. I lost my own father at the Battle of the Moon Council, fighting alongside Laurens Silmuna as his sworn battleman. This battle was a great betrayal, as the House of Wesdam betrayed their own family, the main branch, and slaughtered the forces of the true emperor, alongside the traitor Lothane Wex. When the war ended, Wex was declared emperor, and the Silmuna family found itself on the edge of extinction. Only a boy survived in Wesdam, under the care of his mother, Reina Madelaire, a wine lady whose influence and cruelty were well known. I found little safety in Anbennar and went east to fight against the Green Tide, a great invasion of orcs that had laid kingdoms to ruin. There I found Roger Silmuna and quickly became an ardent follower of his good leadership and rule. It was therefore a shock to me years later when Roger told me he had been communicating with Laurens Silmuna, the heir of Wesdam. I hated his family, yet he had played no part, just a boy of 6 at the time, all alone amongst the Lorentish who had helped destroy our family's future. Roger planned the kidnapping of the boy, and it was done surprisingly easy. He was in the capital of Lorent at the time, a political prisoner, but clearly of little interest to the king. He was not what I expected. At first I disliked the lad, but he grew on me quickly, thirsty for knowledge and always trying his best to learn to fight. I will say though, he was not the smartest man I have ever met, but I'm not one to speak on that myself. Intelligence is a good thing to have, but morals even more so. As he grew up, we became good friends, as family and companions, and the sons of Demaria, the bond we shared will last a lifetime. Therefore, when it was time to see him return home when he came of age, I shed a tear for him and hoped that the wolf of Madelaire would not eat him alive. This is the story of House Wesdam and the Silmuna family. May the gods watch over our future.
Welcome.
Greetings.
Wesdam.
Wonderful. I am a messenger sent here by Reina II. I believe that there was a deal made with the Lord Elector of Beppeckian regarding Exwis, and we wish to know if you still plan on following through on that.
We do indeed plan on following through. It will happen in less than a year. There will
Very
be
well.
war.
Well, as you know, you have a formal alliance with my liege, and we have our armies ready on the border, prepared to straighten Exwis as soon as you wish. We would also suggest that you get your navy ready, and working alongside the Westamian navy, we should be able to immediately defeat them on all fronts.
Very well. Be advised, our navy has been somewhat reduced for the time being, as we are currently rebuilding many of our ships into trade ships. As such, our current navy is weaker than it should be.
We should be able to deal with the Exwis navy, but just in case, I will let my regent know, and I would advise that you immediately link your fleet up with ours. Even if they're trade ships, we can still use them in a potential naval engagement.
Certainly. I will ask you for...
In that case, we look forward to working together in the future. Having such a strong ally is a very important thing to my regent, especially given the recent instability with events in Lorentaine.
Indeed. We did indeed have deals with Lorent, but they no longer seem to respond to us.
Yeah, we agreed to a war assisting BPEC to take Exwis. They're going to take a lot. We won't get really much besides payment, but we are getting a major ally, which, given the fact that Madelaire has lost two of her sons and is surrounded by enemies, we would think in a roleplay context would be more important. So we'll go for that. Greetings! I hope I am not interrupting. I am an ambassador from the court of the Marquis Regent, Reina II.
I was expecting such a visitor.
Wonderful. She wishes, she sends her respects, but as you know, she is currently searching for her son, the heir to Wesdam, and as such, unfortunately, was not able to attend. However, I will be here in her stead and are able to negotiate in all things for the Marquis Regent.
Wonderful, wonderful. As you in my letter, I requested a binding of houses between our two.
You did.
More for the idea that we can stand up against this Lorent threat.
Greetings, Duke. Is that Duke Creston?
On it to you and your house.
And you, and yours. I'd hope to be able to speak with you in the future as well when the Regent had wished me to do so, so it is good to see you here.
So as it is, me and Lorent were planning to divvy up the reign, so to speak. But for that, we would need access through Metal Air and potentially arms to add to our own, as they are currently allied with Elissan.
You know we hold no good faith for the damned Duranis. Duke Aiden is a threat to the Wine Lords, and he is considered one of the biggest priorities for my honorable region. We would be interested in assisting in this war, assuming, of course, the Queen Regent, or the Marquis Regent, and when he returns, undoubtedly, Laurens Silmuna would receive some of the territory that would be divvied up.
I promise you Westport.
Westport? I do not wish to go around, but I do believe that the King of Lorent already has eyes upon that, so I would be cautious with suggesting you can hand that out. I know that Killian Solorial is a reasonable man and could be reasoned with, but I think to suggest that he would not want the prize of Durrani for himself would be a very dangerous assumption.
Perhaps a minor port in the south.
That would be agreeable. My regent sent me here with one main goal, that is that we secure a port in the west.
Clear shore, then. But if I give you clear shore, you have no route except to go through you.
We would propose that in such a war that we be granted Durham's Fort and Lansk. That's all we would like in the west, and then potentially Castile in the east.
All right. As it is, though, that is a. I assume you mean to sail west, like I've been hearing mutterings about.
Indeed, we have heard rumors that there are potentially lands back in the west, and my regent, she had, before he'd gone missing, planned to get the young Marquis to be trained in naval affairs so he might benefit from whatever this is. But to have a port in the west would be a very strategic thing, given recent news, don't you think? But very well, I will leave you be. Send word when you can, and I will say...
Wait.
Sorry?
I would just like to request military access.
We would be only willing to give it after you would agree to a deal with the Marquis Regent. Given our strategic position, we would like to obviously have a deal made before we could agree to such a thing.
All right, then. I will consider it.
Very well. Thank you for your time. They went to war with Durrani without our permission, without our acceptance. So, this is a strategical... So the Ording basically didn't agree to fight with us. They've done a separate war with Durrani completely. They're not going to basically try and let us in at all. They're going to try and cut us out of it. Madelaire is a very realpolitik woman. She's malevolent. She would probably have now a grudge against them for it. But we cannot allow Durrani to simply slip through our fingers, to be frank. Greetings.
We did try to send you a message, but as you did not respond, we decided instead to expand to the north. Though we will let you know now that the nation of Neckliffe's army has been wiped out by yours truly. As such, you are free to expand to the south.
That is wonderful, but at this time we do not feel that expansion without my son returned is acceptable. We will be getting potentially involved in a war of Durrani. I was approached by delegates from Solorn and the Great Ording to fight a war of Durrani, but it appears that my requests for such a war were too high, and as such we were cut out. Given that they are now losing this war, we are going to enter and just simply take what we wish.
I see. Well, in that case, just let you know the offer to join the current war against Dulaire and Neckliffe is open to you, but we understand if you want to wait.
You would wish to invite us in so that we could take Neckliffe?
If you're interested. I'm currently at war with him. His army has been slain. I'm sieging down Dulaire as we speak.
That is an opportunity we cannot let up pass, and we would agree to such a term. We will wait for a war of Durrani then.
Yes, do be advised. Taking Neckliffe land will come at a great cost, as some might see as an aggressor, as we do not have a proper claim against Neckliffe.
I suppose, but at the same time, we are owed a favor by the Emperor, and I had already spoken to him and others about the possibility of securing Neckliffe. I have a promise from Lothain himself that he will look the other way in the event of us being aggressive towards that region.
Yes.
Our troops are walking across the border, and we'll siege them out. And also,
I propose. Yeah.
we will not forget this. You have done us a great service by allowing us to enter this war and get opportunity out of this situation. It speaks much for your desire for our two peoples and our two countries to work together. And if my son is returned, I will make sure that he knows of the deeds you have rendered our family.
Ready? Let me see. I'll try and go
I
around.
engaged just off my coach line in the dame right now.
Yes, I'm running around
Okay.
cliffs. The other fleet then.
It is going to be a little bit brutal. We'll probably win it.
So I have
There we go. Let's go ahead and take out their fleet
Done.
on your coastline as well.
Yes, moving. I'll have my 2 ships come and join as well.
Not a problem.
Yes.
Our
We
navies
have
are
had
more than a
radical
match for them.
reforms. We have been very blessed. Oh, that's too. That's oh boy, all the power points. So good.
A great victory. The admirals of Beppec and Meadowlair are indeed very strong. We've engaged the remnants of their navy off of the Neckliffe coastline. I should be
I'm
able to
coming with
handle
there.
it, but just in case. Overwhelming
moving in.
numbers are always preferable.
Indeed, I'm moving in with my newest fleet admiral. Oh, we at least disallow them his friendship.
Indeed. A well-fought war, and a very, very, very benefiting one. I will return to the court of Meadowlair and let the queen, the Marquise, I keep saying queen, the Marquise regent know of our successes here today. And it will not be forgotten.
Yes, I wish you well. Do take care.
You as well. And we, of course, we will honor our deal of Exuis, but given time, of course.
Great Wesdam. I'm sorry.
This
for
is
the
an ambassador
flustered
from
thing.
the Marquise Regent of Meadowlair. I could see that you did not heed our offer and instead went into a foolhardy war.
I know it's such a foolish thing. But we can take them with our combined might. Oh no.
I would say that we would be willing to intervene, but
Oh, hang on.
given the current circumstance, I am unsure.
A new circumstance has just risen, actually, which is quite funny to me.
Which is...
Wex has intervened. All right.
Wex
this is funny
intervened?
now. This is now just funny.
On whose side?
On our side.
In that case,
Oh yeah.
I
know,
think
right?
I would be fully within my right to offer you the aid of the Marquise Regent if you would like it.
I don't. I mean, I believe we can handle it now. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, let me put it this way. The Queen Regent can either help you, or she can start a separate war with Durrani.
That's true. That's very true. You'll have to speak to the war leader, though. I didn't declare this war. I didn't want to.
Alright, we're not going to bug them. I think we have the armies for it. So we got completely cut out of this situation, which would be very offensive to us. So as a result, we are going to fight a separate war with Durrani, because we're getting outmaneuvered in the lowlands right now. They're going to try and basically split up Durrani and cut us out. So we are going to enter this war separately. Yeah, they're trying to cuck us right now, and we're not going to let that happen. So the Marquise Regent, Meadowlair, is going to declare a separate war and get involved. We'll bring our navy around as well. We'll assist our allies where needed, and we're going to siege out Durrani and get the upper hand in the peace deal. We want to basically try and make ourselves... One of the things I want to do with Wesdam in this game is make the western, basically, shield of the Empire to be a naval power. So we're going to go really heavy navally. Optimally, I would have just liked to have cooperated with these other wine lords. I mean, Meadowlair is a real politic woman. She's very political, but she understands cooperation is needed, especially given how all the other wine lords hate us. We basically were the first to go fight with Lorent against all these guys, so they don't like us much to begin with. We've engaged their fleet. Oh, fuck. They have heavies. We're not going to win this, are we? We lost 2 galleys and 5 transport ships there. That's really unfortunate. I didn't realize they had heavy ships. That's unfortunate. This war has proven to be very beneficial to us, though, as we are going to basically get our pick of the peace deal here. Verne claims king title illegally. Before this all start, the Duchy of Verne declared himself a king. He's within the Empire, so he can't really do that. The dukedom claimed the following in a recent statement. Duke Alvar IV Silverne, now newly King Alvar Silverne, has recently proclaimed the Second Kingdom of Verne in an act of defiance against the usurper Emperor Lothain Wex III. Citing the history of kings in Verne and their importance to the region and his recent triumph over the kings of Buzelar, he announced his declaration publicly to the city of Verne on the 3rd of Bloomsdan, 1445. He also proclaimed his decision was to strengthen his new position as the defender of the south to protect against Nolish raiders. The Shadow Princess of Nothale said, "Arg, this man can keep himself whatever he wants as long as he keeps sending unarmed trading vessels into my waters, arg." Laurens Silmuna was raised in the High Laurentist culture of Madelair by his mother, Reina the second Sil Madelair. With Lorent's coming of age as the rightful ruler of the Marquisate of Wesdam and the Duchy of Madelair, he has a choice. Continue the ways of his upbringing, fully embracing the high culture of his Laurentish neighbors, or return to his Damarian ancestors. We are going to go for Damaria. We have spent the latter part of our childhood fighting in Escann with Roger Silmuna in the roleplay. He's a player as well. So when we come back, we would be very much more on the Silmuna Damarian side rather than Lorent. So, all right. My army stands ready and my navy stands ready. Whenever you wish for us to strike, my friend.
Then we strike now.
Very well. To glory and to victory.
It would appear Riveria has come to our enemy's aid.
It is no matter. They're damned pirates, nothing more. We will rout them. A tough battle. I'll be honest, I am not adjusted to command like this. But regardless, a victory all the same. I'll rout the remnants of their army.
Excellent.
Greetings. Who are you here to speak with?
To you, my queen, I suppose.
It would be Marquis. I am Laurens Silmuna. I am a man. I had heard from my mother you had a habit of misgendering rulers. I can see that is clearly true.
Keep track, my lord.
Do you not see my appearance? Am I not a man? Am I a beast?
I simply
A
did not
woman?
visit the court enough. I was prepared to talk to the lovely lady.
I have been called lovely, but never a lady. What can I do for you, ambassador?
I just wanted to let you know, my lord, that I am not having any interest in Carneteria right there. I just wish to tell you this. Wish to comfort you in the thought.
Ah,
That is all, my lord.
understandable. Also, just since you do have a border with him, my new wife, she is a lovely woman. She's not here. She's out riding, I believe. Erinila Woodwell, a good woman. Her family is under my protection. Do you understand?
Of course. There is
Good.
simply no interest there.
I'm glad to hear that. It is a beautiful place. I have not traveled there, but my wife tells me that the forests of Woodwell are beautiful. I do look forward to traveling there when I am no longer leading my men in battle. Greetings, Killian. It is good to see you. It has been so long. Cousin, it is good to see you. You said you had something you wish to speak about?
Yes, I would like to formalize the relations between our two nations.
You're seeking a
That is
formal
we
alliance,
are-
then?
Yes.
I am not opposed to this at all. I was very young when last we saw each other, but from what I remember, I know you are a good man who cares for your people. I, as the protector of the West, and as the Marquis of Wesdam, will do my best to always work for the best interests of my people, my lords, and of course myself and my family. Being another who also looks at things this way, I would have no issue of us working more firmly together.
Well, first of all, I would like to plainly say that I plan a war against Goward. We would have an alliance mainly mainly to show of good faith. I believe that our history has shown that the one is not as strong as both, and we both have good relations with BPEC as well.
Indeed, we have many mutual friends, and as you know, my ancestors, though I do not certainly agree with their actions, sacrificed much for the current circumstance, and what I would be amiss not to at least honor their deaths and sacrifice in choosing to side with you. It's a complex situation, but we are where we are, and I do hope that you'll be a good friend, as we are relatives, if nothing else.
Yes, indeed.
I would be happy to formalize an alliance with you. We are agreed then? And
Yes,
perhaps
sir.
an agreement on the matter of marriage. When I have children of my own and an heir, they shall marry one of your own children or your children's children. Is this agreed?
It's agreed.
Very well. I look forward to it. Let us bind our families together once more and provide stability for the West. Oh no, Lawrence just died. In the roleplay, what I am going to say, though, is that Reina Silmuna is the daughter of Laurens Silmuna and not Brian Silmuna. So we're going to say that Reina Silmuna is specifically Laurens Silmuna's daughter, who he had with the noblewoman from Woodwell. We will say that, though. If she dies, though, any of her kids will be of Brian Silmuna. Because I want to have the Laurens line continue, just for roleplay purposes. Either through policies and rule or simply a prospering country, our time with the gnomish minorities of our nation has led to natural learning and understanding of each other's customs. Wesdam's tolerance for the gnomish race has increased. Wonderful. We're going to be a very tolerant Wesdam, besides obviously orcs and goblins and gnolls and stuff like that. We could finish off Neckliffe, but he is careful, so he would want to go very slowly. Does he have any allies? He does have one. We could fight this war. I'll wait a little bit. We'll do that before the end of today's game, though. Because we are enemies with Neckliffe, obviously. And we want to finish our past wars with them. And secure the Imperial dockyards. Since we are looking to become a strong navy.